Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Carlos and today we're going to be exploring a potpourri of several different topics, including our back session and what the hell is a refeed? You know, there's some notions in fitness and bodybuilding that people seem to know, they've heard many times, and they go, yeah. It's like the lyrics to a song that you never learned actually, that you have other words for that song, but you never corrected it over your 40 or 50 or 60 years. You let the misconception or the not the clear understanding of the matter just continue forever. And so what is a refeed? Oh, well, a refeed, you need to feed yourself when you're low, when you're flat, when you're losing too much weight, right? That's what a refeed is. Well, yes, but by what criteria do you give yourself a refeed? Now, this was the greatest mystery, and when I found out exactly how it's done, I said, why did they say this from the beginning? Why wasn't this laid out so simply in layman's terms? And it was kind of like shrouded in the mystery until it's finally out. And when it's finally out, you look back and you say, well, how come we misunderstood for years and years and years? Or why was it so mysterious and only a few people would know, and those people wouldn't really properly transmit the knowledge, right? And so what is a refeed? Well, while getting into the investigation of carb cycling, quick parentheses here, we are on a calorie deficit, trying or losing body fat and retaining muscle mass. So that's the subject, that's the idea of what we're getting into is losing body fat and the refeed. So refeed. And then I go into carb cycling, and then somebody explains where refeeds are the same thing as carb cycling. Oh, my goodness. You increase your calories on certain days, and by and large, those calories are in the form of carbohydrates. They're not fats, they're not saturated fats, and it's not really an overdose of protein or anything like that. It's just more carbohydrates, and that's your refeed. So, how do I do my refeeds now? As I've been explaining, I am very meticulous in keeping data. I track my body weight, my calories, and my workouts. Everything is tracked on an Excel sheet. And so I weigh myself every single day, and I average out the weight over a week, over 2 weeks. I add up the average. I take the average over a bi-weekly basis, but I'm always looking on a daily where the average is. And I don't let the average go beyond 2 or maximum 3 pounds bi-weekly. If it goes above and beyond that, then I am in danger of losing a muscle mass. So, this is why we lose weight slowly. And we do this in a very controlled manner with our diet, and we track everything so that everything is very stable. From day to day, things are just the same, but they're on a trend. They're going down. Body fat, body weight is going down. I get stuck sometimes for 5, 6, even to 10 days. I will have the exact same body weight, but I will have already accrued 1.3 or 1.5 body weight drop over the bi-weekly, because it's usually in the transition from bi-week to bi-week or fortnight to fortnight that I lose a pound and a half. So I don't want to get too much into the details, but this morning, in my particular case this morning, I hit a new low in body weight, and my averages were hitting close to the extreme, and I'm only on the 4th day of this bi-weekly cycle. So what did I do? I refed. Oh my God, what a mystery. How do I know when to refeed? Well, I send my photos to a coach and he says, you're looking flat. Or, that's so subjective. You can really miss the mark by doing it that way. But when you're data driven, when you know the numbers, your body weight, can't let it dip below a certain level. And so this morning, it's like those when you're doing stocks and stuff. I mean, I'm not doing those, obviously, it shows. Stop cell notifications to make sure that you don't go beyond a certain limit. It automatically tells you to stop what you're doing and to make a decision. So that's what the data does in this case. It doesn't let me drop too fast. Remember the story of a fellow who was competing last year, and he was doing fine on his diet and everything, and he lost like 15 pounds in the last 10 days, lost all his muscle. This guy was looking full as a house. He's big. He's like competing in 212, thick legs, thick arms, everything thick. And in 2 weeks, like in 10 days, he lost everything because his coach had him eating 100 grams of protein and nothing else 3 times a day. That's like less than a cat eats. And of course, what's going to happen? You're going to lose your muscle. You know, your muscle, you're gone. Just like, the photos, his head looked bigger than his body. It was really weird. I said, Jason, what the hell happened? So, no, I'm pissed at my coach. I mean, it's like, I put all my trust in him, and I followed everything he said. He had me on this diet, and I lost all my muscle. I'm never doing that again. I said, Jason, why don't you get your own data? Why don't you just do what you know, how it's truly done? You track everything, and you don't put your life into the hands of some coach, man. It's like, yeah, it's good to have a coach, but if you know a lot, I think you can do a better job. And you can get a coach for many reasons, but you should keep your own data. Anyways, so on to the next subject. And I did cardio on one of those days. My thing just dropped. The cardio, my camera just stopped. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, let us continue. So on one of those days, keto days, I did my cardio. Because my weight was stuck and I was reaching the end of the 15 days. I wasn't making the last drop. Did the keto, did a 45-minute session of cardio, 11 sets of abdominals afterwards, and next day I hit my goal to the decimal, 1.91 pounds for the fortnight. A little bit less than 2 pounds, less than a kilo in 15 days. So, and that was because I started experimenting with the carb cycle. The carb cycle, 0 carbs on non-training days, normal 150 to 200 grams of net carbs on training days, which is low carb, and then a high carb day, 1 day a week, usually on leg day, where you eat 3 times your body weight in net carbs, which is 600 net carbs per day. And I find that completely extreme. In my case, I'm not doing insulin. So I'm not doing the, high carb insulin, trying to bloat type of thing, cram the muscles with nutrients and aminos and, I'm sure it works and I'd love to do it one day. I'm just too lazy right now to go around buying myself some insulin and getting on another protocol. It's just a lot of work. I do enough work as it is. So, hey, it's in the future someday, if it's that good, it's great, good. I'll leave it for a later day, for a rainy day, for further down the road. Anyways, not doing the insulin. So 600 grams is just way too much. I stuffed myself that day with maybe 400 grams net. That was enough. So that's what I wanted to say about the diet and carb cycling. What the hell is, the refeed and carb cycling? Very simple. You refeed when you're going too low. How do you know? Keep track. Yeah, it is work. You got to get yourself a macro tracker app, and write everything down and how many calories and weigh yourself every day. Which brings me to another subject, self-sabotage. I see people that they're very close to their goals and they self-sabotage. They utterly self-sabotage. They destroy all the work that they're doing either by binge eating, junk food, donuts, high sugar foods, cramming potato chips, just destroying the work that they've been doing, no self-control, but it's not really an issue of self-control. It's more of a subconscious desire to subvert their gains to not succeed. Why? Because success carries a very, very high responsibility. In fact, success is an absolute responsibility. Some people can't handle that. Some people would prefer just to float, in the mediocrity. Good enough is good enough. And, I got some stuff done, some things were achieved, some things were lost, some things were gained, and that's fine with me. But no excellence, no champion mindset, no winning. Why? Because that's hard. It's hard to sustain. It carries a lot of, quote unquote, karma and responsibility. It changes you and it turns you into a different person when you become a winner. And this is why there's so few of us. Yes, I am a winner. absolutely under every single criteria. I'm not lifting myself up. I used to be a loser, so I know the difference. I know the difference. I used to self-sabotage myself with alcohol and drugs. I used to self-sabotage myself with flaking off and not doing what I would need to do. Which brings me to the third reason of why all these things will or will not work. Double-mindedness. Double-mindedness. Not making your mind up. If you are resolved, if you're one of these people that can resolve to do something and not second guess, not rethink, not just no ifs, ands, or buts. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give up alcohol, and that's just it. It's a settled deal, and that's it. And you don't count your days. How many days have you been without alcohol? When you start counting the days that you've been without alcohol, there is a subconscious mechanism there waiting for the day when you will drink alcohol again. Once you say it's gone forever. How long ago? I never had it. It's gone. It's like I never drank. Why? Because I never will drink again, ever, in this life at least. You can never say never because you don't know what goes on in the hereafter. But here, in the here and now, in this life, as far as we know, you can make decisions that are absolute, that are permanent, and they will free you completely from your previous chains, shackles, and karma. And they will empower you to achieve whatever it is that you set your mind on. But you will not achieve anything in life if you are double-minded, if you are not resolved. And this resolve comes with, it's liberating, it frees you up. It also comes with a heavy responsibility to succeed, to respond, to be able to sustain and be that person. And this is why people fail. They get scared. They get scared. It's a scary place to be on the higher levels of reality. It's a scary thing. It changes people. It changes you. You start seeing things differently when you overcome and you're a winner. When everything starts clicking your way because you have changed intrinsically inside of you. You're a new person. You can never go back. If you go back, you seal your destruction. You have made sure that you will never get that second chance again. You have proven yourself absolutely and beyond any doubt to the universe that you are a loser, that you cannot and you will not and should not deserve any higher achievements. Because when you had it, you were going forward, you were there, you turn back. You turn back. Turn back from the light. You turn back from the knowledge. You turn back from the glory. Everything. Because you just couldn't handle it. So I would suggest very strongly to make your mind up. If you're fat, if you're 25% fat and you want to get in shape, make your mind up. Don't make this a 3-week project, a quick fix of I want to get on a diet and get in shape. That's such bullshit. Make sure you change your life forever, that when you get to 10% body fat or whenever you get that muscular physique, that's you. That's what you're going to be. You're not going to get in shape for the summer. You're going to get in shape for life. Capiche? Understood? Why? Because you resolved to be a different person. That's why. It's as easy as that. The resolution is easy. To carry it out, it requires great amount of effort. And that's the other thing that scares people. I don't want to work so hard. Man, the easy roll down the hill into hell. It's just let me slide down. Ooh, we're gone. Into my easy chair. Have a 6-pack. Have a doobie. Cram your face with some junk food. Take the dog for a walk. Post a meme. Make fun of, trying to make effort. And this is just me and blah, and then later on. I'm not talking about the health consequences of that, which are bad enough. It's the consequences on your soul. What a fraud. What a loser. If you knew how to do the thing and you didn't do it to the best of your ability. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best. You're going to be the strongest, the most fit, the most beautiful, the most whatever. No. it means that you are going to be the best you that is possibly, that you could possibly achieve. That's all that you can ask. You're not comparing yourself to others. You're doing the best that you can do. And if you don't do that, you're choosing death. That's all I can say. Anyways, let's get into our back session. Today, every once in a while, I drift off the heavy compounds. I start doing a little bit more cable work, more machine work, and then, and there's something inside of me that just pushes me back into the heavy compounds. This is fine for a few workouts, but don't make this a habit. You need to lift heavy weights. And for me, the basic compounds are the T-bar, the barbell row, the one-arm rows. Not doing deadlifts so much anymore. You can get extremely absurdly strong on the deadlift without getting too much out of it as far as muscular, hypertrophy. It takes a lot out of the CNS system. Takes over 15 to 20 days to actually recover to make gains unless you are training the deadlift as a power lifter for a period of time. And then, after a period of years, you'll learn. And, you see these smallish, skinny-ish type people who get super, super strong on the deadlift with no muscle to show for it. And I was kind of becoming that. And it builds up your core extremely well. That's great. But it gives you a bad proportion if you're into bodybuilding. And you can get humongous muscles without it. So I'm not really doing the deadlift anymore. I'm doing the T-bar row. This T-bar row. So, doing 5 to 6 plates. Some people see me doing these and they say it's an ego lift. I get that a lot. That like I'm ego lifting, even though it's with as strict a form as possible. I'm not doing 1 rep. I'm doing 5 to 6 reps, and I go berserk. So I actually go berserk. I go, yeah! I grab the thing like it's like life and death, and I scream and I grunt and I pull as hard as humanly possible. And somebody says that's an ego lift, and I say, well, the thing is, when the person sees another person doing that type of extreme effort with such an aggressive behavior, they get confronted and their own egos are challenged. And so anybody who's like working harder or achieving anything more than them is ego lifting. And I have this to say about the ego. God bless the ego. You need a healthy ego. Not to be arrogant, not to put other people down, not to exalt yourself above others, but you need an ego that is your self-dignity, that will not let you lose. Your ego has to be so massive and so strong that you will not permit yourself to be a loser. It's as simple as that. And so you're maligning the thing that you most need, that you most should bless. Why? Because people parrot a phrase that they heard, that they were intimidated by. Oh, ego lift. And they're like little parrots. Ego lift, ego lift. Oh, he's ego, ego, ego. It's like, oh, all of a sudden the ego is associated with bad things. And it can be, for sure. But your ego is an intrinsic part of your success. So build up a healthy ego. You should have an indomitable ego. An ego that just will not lose. So, getting back to the back exercises. So, the T-bar. Now, in these gyms where I'm going to, they have very small or very light dumbbells. Now, when I refer to light dumbbells, a 110-pound dumbbell, in my opinion, is just not heavy enough. Especially for back exercises. Come on, man. I have a video up doing a 200-pound back row with a dumbbell. 200 pounds. Bah, yanking it off the floor for 4 reps. Yeah, sure, it's not doing it like, okay, hold it here for a second, let it down slowly, because this is proper form. It's not proper form, that's bullshit. You can yank and pull, you can grip and rip. That's how power is built. That's how big muscles are built. That's how the muscle really gets the mechanical tension under a lot of heavy weight and a really strong contraction. So 200 pounds, 150, 140s, 130s, that would be a range that I would be looking for dumbbell training for one arms, but we don't have them here. So what do? I loaded up the T-bar, and I did them one arm at a time. Now here the trick is to find your balance and where to position the other arm and the whole thing. So I had to play around with it a little bit. There was the plate rack, and my first set it was clumsy, and then I rolled it over to the incline bench, and like on one side I really got a good grip and a good angle and a good arch on my back, and I did 6 reps with 3 plates, and then on the other side it didn't go that well. But when I was looking at it on the video, I said, man, oh man, that is really the ticket to get muscle size on your shoulder girdle and on the thickness of your upper back. I mean, to really get the silverback gorilla back, with that particular exercise. I tried 4 plates and it would not budge. That was at the end of my routine. I put on 4 plates, which is 4 plates is 80 kilos, 100 and plus the bar, because you are lifting the bar. Sure, it's anchored on one side, but you still have to lift the bar. So it's almost like 200 and some odd pounds, and it wouldn't budge. I know I can get it, like if I do it first on the training session. But anyways, I kind of drift. I need to get all these stories out, some ideas. And so I worked with the 3 plates, and, that's massive enough. 60 kilos plus, say, 75% of the bar would be 15 kilos, 75 kilos, about 160 pound one arm row. Stretch it, and then bring it all the way back, and stretch, dead stop, pull, cramp. So I found myself a new exercise, and I go online, and I'm looking to, see if anybody else is doing it, and I see some people doing it in a very strange manner, grabbing the end of the bar, like the thick part where you load the plate, and with the arm all the way out, like doing a rear delt, and I said, I don't see anybody doing it like the most logical way that you can, which is just grab the bar like it's a dumbbell and row it. You can do it. Anyways, then I did a machine and did my weighted pull-ups. Oh my God. These pull-ups, I very rarely do them. I did them during the quarantine when I couldn't do anything else. I'd go out to the park and just do pull-ups, and I worked myself up to like 10 or 12 pull-ups, sets of 10 to 12. It took a lot to get me to that range. I usually, when I first started, it's like 3 reps. Oh, I built it up to 5 reps. And then one day I got 6. And then when I got 8 reps, it was like, whoa, I have arrived. And I dropped a little bit of weight and got up to 10 reps. But that was after, months of training. So I don't really do them. But now I'm back into them because they are very important. I'm doing a neutral grip, been doing body weight, and body weight between 5 and 6 reps, which is, full range, 6 reps. Okay, so today I decided to go for a weighted dip. I had an extra 10 kilos, 22 pounds, and I got 5 reps. It felt ecstatic. So that's basically it. Back workout, just heavy emphasis on the T-bar, the one-arm T-bar, pull-ups. Pretty basic, pretty hardcore. Did I do anything else? It's there on the video. I leave it narrated. It was kind of a short workout, but it was very intense, very heavy. And with the traditional T-bar, I did 6 plates. And with the 5 plates, I did like 10 reps. So it was like I got a lot of work. My back was definitely, it's started to get bigger, even though I'm dropping weight. And I explained the diet. I explained the refeed. What the hell is a refeed? Refeed is just carb cycling. You go up and down with your calories. But if you don't track, if you do not track, you will be kind of clueless, and it'll be very hit and miss with the refeeds, as I say. Because if you're data driven, you can't really fail. In my opinion, it's been working for me. I'm dropping the body fat. The numbers don't lie. Patience, my friends, patience. Got to practice God's virtues. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. And I hope these presentations, they can reach somebody out there and help you in your journey, clarify some things, get you to research other things, find out, learn for yourself. Don't take anybody's word for anything, not mine, not anybody's. These things should stimulate you to do your own research, and you will find the truth. If you will seek the truth, you will know it. You will find it. God bless everybody. We'll see you in our next episode. And don't forget to subscribe.